Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. See, I've gone through my life thinking that I know what I want. I want good things to happen to me, and I don't want bad things to happen to me. But what if bad things came into my life because I liked it that way? It's a strange concept to think about, but what I've found is that pain and suffering is actually quite addictive. Suffering is just part of the human experience, but the more that I've tuned in to how I actually feel, the more I realize that I've chose suffering in my life a lot more than I thought I was doing. Victimization, suffering, pain, all these things can actually bring a sense of importance to who we are as people. As children, the way that we get attention and significance from our parents or from whoever is there to nurture us is by crying. And as we grow into adulthood, we find other ways to cultivate meaning of our identity through our own suffering. So while our conscious selves don't necessarily want bad things to happen to us, we often get the opposite because of these unconscious patterns that are running in the background that we may have learned as a child or may have learned through different experiences or traumas. Those things create repressed feelings, and our egos hold on to these patterns because they are highly addictive. The reality is, what your unconscious wants, it gets. You are not who you think you are. Take a look around you. Notice the situations, the people, the things that are in your life. This is a good indication of what your unconscious actually wants, whether it's good or whether it's bad. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. So instead of repressing and numbing this sense of wrongness in your life, come to terms, accept yourself fully, understand that you are a part of an entire being, a spectrum of quote unquote good and bad. And among that spectrum of desire that you have, you're a complicated being. You don't have to only want things that you consider good. You will, as a human, want things that you actually consider bad. So think about it like this. What situations in your life seem to become patterns, especially if you view them as negative patterns? Think about the flip side of it. Why do you think your unconscious might actually want these things? What kind of importance or significance could you be deriving from these situations or patterns frequently occurring? Give yourself permission to be shameless and open the communication barrier between the unconscious and the conscious. This will greatly increase your awareness and also your individual agency to change the way that you feel about certain things. You could find pleasure and acceptance just knowing that there are going to be things in your life that you want that you may consider bad, and that gives you the power to actually choose them or not. Until next time, keep wondering. You're not lost.